Hello. Do you know what nanotechnology is? It's a big word, isn't it? Don't worry, we're here to help you understand it. Imagine you have a really big cake. It's so big that you can't even see all of it at once. Imagine cutting that cake into tiny little pieces. So tiny, that you would need a microscope to see them. That's what nanotechnology is all about, working with things that are super small. It's like taking a really big thing and making it really, really tiny. Let's go even smaller. Imagine you have a tiny ant. Now imagine that ant is made up of even tinier pieces called cells. These cells are so small that you would need a special machine to see them. Nanotechnology is all about working with things that are even smaller than cells. In fact, nanotechnology deals with things that are so small, they're on the atomic and molecular scale. That means they're made up of tiny little particles that you can't even see with your eyes. But just because they're small, doesn't mean they're not important. Scientists and engineers use nanotechnology to create new things that are really useful. For example, they can make tiny robots that are so small, they can fit inside your body to help keep you healthy. Or they can create super strong materials that are so small, they're invisible to the naked eye. Nanotechnology can also be used to create new medicines that can fight diseases in a very targeted way. Imagine taking a pill that can go straight to the part of your body that needs it most. That's what nanotechnology can do. You might be wondering how scientists and engineers work with things that are so small. Well, they use special tools and machines that are designed to work at the nanoscale. It's kind of like using a really tiny hammer and screwdriver to build a super tiny house. One of the coolest things about nanotechnology is that it can be used in lots of different fields. For example, it can be used in medicine, electronics, energy, and even food. One way nanotechnology is used in medicine is through targeted drug delivery. Scientists can use nanotechnology to create tiny particles called nanoparticles that can be filled with medicine and sent straight to the part of the body that needs it most. It's like having a GPS for medicine. This means that patients can get the medicine they need without it affecting the rest of their body, reducing side effects and improving treatment. Another way nanotechnology is used in medicine is through diagnostic tools. Scientists can use nanoparticles to create special dyes that light up when they come into contact with certain molecules, like those found in cancer cells. This can help doctors detect cancer earlier and more accurately. It's like having a special pair of glasses that can see things that are normally invisible. Nanotechnology can also be used to create better medical devices. For example, scientists have created tiny sensors that can be placed inside the body to monitor things like glucose levels, heart rate, and even brain activity. It's like having a tiny robot doctor inside your body, keeping an eye on everything and alerting the real doctor if something goes wrong. But wait, there's more. Nanotechnology can also be used to create better wound dressings. Scientists have created special bandages that contain nanoparticles that can detect the presence of harmful bacteria and release antibiotics to fight them off. It's like having a superhero bandage that can fight off bad germs and help you heal faster. And finally, nanotechnology can be used to create better cancer treatments. Scientists have created nanoparticles that can be filled with chemotherapy drugs and sent directly to cancer cells, without affecting healthy cells. This means that patients can get the medicine they need without experiencing the harsh side effects of traditional chemotherapy. It's like having a tiny army of superheroes that can target the bad guys without hurting the good guys. One way nanotechnology is used in electronics is through the creation of computer chips. Scientists can use nanotechnology to make tiny transistors, which are like little switches that turn electricity on and off. By making these transistors smaller and smaller using nanotechnology, we can fit more and more of them onto a computer chip, making it faster and more powerful. It's like having a tiny army of workers inside your computer, doing all the heavy lifting and making everything run smoothly. Nanotechnology is also used to make better screens for our electronic devices. Scientists can use nanoparticles to create special coatings that make screens more scratch-resistant and durable. They can also create nanoparticles that emit different colors of light, making it possible to create brighter and more vibrant displays. It's like having a magical potion that makes your phone or tablet stronger and more beautiful. Nanotechnology is also used to create better batteries. Scientists can use nanotechnology to make batteries that are smaller, lighter, and more efficient. They can also use nanoparticles to improve the performance and lifespan of batteries. It's like having a special power-up for your electronic devices that makes them run longer and better. Another way nanotechnology is used in electronics is through the creation of sensors. Scientists can use nanoparticles to create tiny sensors that can detect things like temperature, light, and even chemicals. These sensors can be used in all kinds of electronic devices, from smartphones to cars to airplanes. And finally, nanotechnology is used to create better electronic components. Scientists can use nanotechnology to make things like wires, capacitors, and resistors that are smaller, faster, and more efficient. This means that our electronic devices can be made smaller and more powerful, while using less energy. Scientists are always coming up with new ways to use nanotechnology to make our lives better. But even though nanotechnology is really amazing, it's also important to be careful. Since these particles are so small, they can be hard to control. So scientists and engineers have to be very careful when working with them to make sure they don't accidentally create something that could be harmful. So, there you have it, nanotechnology in a nutshell. It's all about working with things that are really, really small to create new and useful things. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be a nanoscientist and come up with the next big nanotechnology breakthrough.